My key advice would uh, be consistent. Don't leave gaps in between. For me, it's really important to have sectionals, a lot of variety of sectional, a lot of question to practice. Then only I will be able to. I'm very slow at learning in general. The
Right.
schedule that sir has given, it
Right.
was rigorous. Like it was really rigorous, and it used to consume at least 4 hours of mine after my work.
A very big congratulations on the score of a 675. How are you feeling about this score, Syed?
I'm really happy about it, to be honest. I started with a pretty low score, and then reaching here is it was almost my target. So
Right.
yes, it's
Super.
like
So, what is more outstanding is your verbal score. I mean, that's something which is very difficult to crack. Like you've got maybe one or two wrong here, 99 percentile. Quant and data insight kind of took a little bit of a hit.
yeah, 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 I
We'll
agree.
definitely talk about it in length about how did the exam go and how many mistakes that you. But right away, I wanted to know, do you recall how many mistakes have you made in each of these
Yes,
sections? To
yes. To be honest, the mistake that I will tell you will shock you, but
yeah,
number of mistakes to be honest. But yeah, I'll tell you in quants I did only one mistake.
I can guess.
Yes,
Is it
only
in
one
the
mistake.
first 10 question
Yeah,
or
it
the
was in
first question itself?
yeah, exactly. It was on the fourth question. I don't know how I missed it, but I missed it. And verbal, it was six mistakes.
Wow, now that's
Yes,
shocking. That is
yes, that's
definitely shocking.
yes, because that was at the last, entirely last of the
Sections.
exam. So it was basically I guessed three questions,
Huh,
and three questions were wrong in general. So, but I was throughout. I think I was on a higher level of the GMAT level.
right.
So that's why I got this score.
So do you say that because verbal you've got all of them wrong, in at least the six of them wrong,
Yes, yes,
and was it because of the time? Did
yeah.
you
No, 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 not
ran
not
out of
really.
time?
Yeah. So what happened was, so whenever I used to practice here in mocks, I never faced the time issues. Never.
Never.
And verbal was my strong part, and cons was also strong, but DI was not that strong in general. But yeah, when I was giving my exam, the questions was really hard, really hard. That's because I understood that I usually start with verbal, then cons, then DI.
That is
So
the order. Okay, even
yeah,
in
that was the
exam,
order. Yeah,
you
that was the order. So when I started giving my verbal, it was easy. Then it became very hard,
right,
very long passages, very dense passages, very difficult to read critical reasonings and very confusing critical reasonings. That at that time only I understood that I am on a higher level. So since the exam is adaptive, so I started solving what. So my strategy was simple: that whatever I can, I will try to solve it. If there is time left at the end, I will try to do it. Otherwise, I will skip.
right,
So that was my proper strategy. But what I did was I made sure that I will solve right questions right till the last of the till where I can go,
right.
and that's what I did. So
Absolutely.
almost whatever the question I solved, it was almost with 100% accuracy. And then after that, since there was no time, so I made at least three or four, like three. So I skipped and two or three mistakes additionally.
I see, I see. But you still had some time to come back and review, or no time at
No,
all.
no, 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 because it was already ended. That section
Right.
time already ended.
That's what I was asking for. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just get to touch base on these section and the exam part in a little while. So, again, fantastic score. Definitely, what you said was shocking in
Yes.
terms
Yes.
of the number
It
of
is.
questions. I mean, 99 percentile with six questions wrong.
Yes.
We'll see that in a short while. Now, Said, please tell me about yourself. What you currently doing, and how did this entire MBA GMAT journey come in, and how did you find top 1% to start your GMAT preparation?
So I'm working as a aircraft design engineer in Airbus,
Right.
and I had total like 4 years of experience in engineering field only. Someone suggested me you should go for Indian ISB. For
I
that, I researched that either you can go for GMAT or GRE. I felt GMAT is way more combined in line with the cat. So I thought it will be easier for me. One of my senior, he like no, he's one of my friend. He took this top 1%.
Right,
So he got a similar score, like 675. So in the old GMAT, it was 730.
right,
So he suggested me that go for top 1%,
right,
and then I took this course, and it was really nice because for me it's really important to have sectionals, a lot of variety of sectional, a lot of question to practice. Then only I will be able. I'm very slow at learning in general,
okay.
so that then only I will be able to cope up. That I knew already knew. So the moment I started with top 1%, I knew that yeah, this is going to help me a lot.
A very long-standing itching question, I would say. CAT versus GMAT. How similar did you find? Because then you came from a CAT preparation to GMAT. How far apart it is or how similar it is? You'd have to tell me this.
Uh, I would say now GMAT focus is not similar. CAT's question difficulty level is very high. The
Right,
maths that they give is it's very high. Like even the 800 level questions are not that difficult that CAT gives usually
right,
throws,
right,
right? And then for English, I would say English is also very difficult because the passages are very long. The
right,
only one thing that CAT does not ask is critical reasoning,
right.
but when you are good with RCs, so you anyway get this through also.
Um, but
The
but then why do you say that you needed help with the preparation in that case if
Yeah,
you
I will tell you why. The reason being, see, my performance in CAT was not up to the mark,
right,
and whatever I tried to do for 2 years, it was not improving above a certain point. So initially, used to score like 30 percentile in English, but then I ramped it up to 99 percentile in English in CAT as well.
okay, you did.
Yeah, already did. So, but only in English. Other subjects were not improving.
Okay,
Never, it was never improving because the level of the cat was very high. So when I switched to GMAT, there also I was facing difficulty with critical reasoning.
right,
We needed a lot of questions to practice to get to that level.
right,
So in that terms, and in maths also, I needed some of the topics to help with, for example, probability, number systems. So all those things that I needed, and I needed a lot of questions to practice on a lower level so that I can cope up with the GMAT.
right, right. So, all right. So, at least that answers the question. But there's still a lot of people who would answer very differently in terms of, in terms of the exam testing capability. Because GMAT has a very different, like if
Yeah,
come from,
GMAT is a pretty standard exam, I would say.
right.
It's a pretty standard exam. CAT is very unpredictable in that term. They throw random questions, random type of question you never know.
Even the length of the preparation itself is much
Yes,
longer in CAT
yes,
than
exactly. No,
G.
but I would. My opinion is very different. It depends upon what your aptitude level is at the
Aptitude
current
level. Right.
status.
So going into the preparation mode, so you've been given as soon as you joined in, and you were, I think you were taken up by, you must have connected with Richa. So you
Yeah,
had a standard demo session, and then you enrolled for which program? Was it self-paced or the live classes?
live classes.
Live classes.
Yes,
And so you know how sir would control the discipline.
yes,
And there's a study plan. It
yes,
was demanding because he controls the discipline. So you
yes.
have to come prepared every week. So what part of it stood out the most? What was most challenging during the preparation for you?
Um, the most challenging was balancing the work life with the preparation, not only preparation, with the schedule that sir has given. It
Right,
was rigorous, like it was really rigorous, and it used to consume at least 4 hours of mine after my work. At least
right,
it needed for me. So you need to do the pre class or pre
right,
class checks. You have to go to the Excel sheet that is provided by the sir. You have to go through each and every. Otherwise, you won't be able to understand anything in the class. So that was very important for me to for the 5 days. I used to work on that. I used to practice a lot and then solve the question that were going to be solved in the class beforehand. And then after that, I used to attend the classes. Whatever the
right.
doubts I used to have, sir used to solve it at that point of time. Otherwise, after the class also I used to finish
Were there
class.
any were there any questions that seemed to be like or any class that you missed per se?
No, never,
Any
never.
day, all 8 weeks you attended.
All epic. There was not a single class that I missed. Yeah, my class used to start on 9 a.m. and I am a night owl. It was difficult, but I did it. You have to do it in
Right,
general.
right, right. Super, super. So at least with the class schedule, stick to the plan. You went
Yes.
through whatever sir had asked you to. So, but then there is also a phase where you have to practice, and this is when after the classes are done. So, did you face any challenge to follow the after class study plan? How did you go about with any of the preparation? You can let me know in terms of each of the section. I would say you start with CR because that seemed to be a little difficult area for you to first grapple to, and then see RC, and then quant and DI. You could just
Yes.
let me know how did your practice phase was in these.
Sure. The moment the classes ended, what I did was I gave a mock
You did.
to
Okay.
Proj where I am right now. So I got around 605.
Okay.
So I knew that for me, I need to get at least 670, 665, 675, something like that. To get into ISB, that's something that is required. So what I did was I start the in the mock I started understanding. Let's start with verbal. So I used to get all the RCs correct generally. If it is very difficult, then one or two mistakes maximum. Otherwise, CR was used to be like 5 questions wrong, 4 questions wrong. So I didn't made an error log per se. That's something I made a mistake. I would say. Otherwise, I would have got more marks, to be honest. So, but yeah. So I used to try. I try to find out which topic was problematic. For example, whether it is conditional reasoning or inference based. So I used to in the top they have given us for each topic they have given us a lot of questions. So I used to practice rigorously. I try to understand. I try to parallel my reasoning with the GMAT's reasoning. That is one thing that helped me. So I try to understand how GMAT used to think for the particular answer. Like let's say if I am stuck with the two options, I try to understand which that used to I did. I used to practice from the tops PDFs.
Right.
And for maths also, which I did the same thing. Which topic, whatever the topic that I'm facing issues, I used to solve the questions that are given in the PDF rigorously, all the questions, and then even similar thing for DI as well. Um, then I used to give mock again. Then I whatever the score I used to get, and in between I also used to give the sectionals as well to
Right.
gauge whether I am able to do it or not. But yeah, I gave a lot of mocks, 12 mocks. I exhausted all the mocks of the MBA.com. I
Oh, you
bought it and exhausted
didn't
it as
take
well.
any of the marks from top portal?
Yeah, I gave them like 4 mocks I gave. I didn't got more than 645 was the maximum, I guess.
Yeah.
But because it was on a higher level,
Yeah.
and it was really good because it let me knew if I am on a 800 level, if on the GMAT day, how to dodge those, how to tackle these questions, and that is why I was able to align my strategy on the GMAT VA section.
Right.
Yeah.
Got Perfect. So, going to the again in your practice phase, one of the things what sir tells you, you have to come prepared, and then there is
Yes.
this discipline that you will have to maintain. But there's a long gap between you having done the classes and then finally giving the GMAT.
Yes.
So, what is it that kept you motivated? Given you also mentioned that the work was very difficult. That's one of the things that
Yeah.
was going on, and somehow taking 4 hours every single day, week after week, would have been very daunting. And how did you manage through? Did you attend any of the strategy guidance? Did you attend any of the session? Or what was the motivation, personal motivation here, I would say?
No, so I was trying for this MBA thing since last 3 years.
Right,
I just wanted to be in the top colleges of the VIT. So what I did was I used to have this ISB's poster on my desk every day. So every day I used to, when I used to wake up, I used to see that. So in the back of my mind, every day it's there. I have to work. I have to work. I have to work. So
is that
anyhow,
around? Is that around right now in your
it's in my laptop.
laptop, right? Yeah, but that's great. Okay, yes, continue.
My laptop is usually open. So whatever, even in my mobile also, it used to be there. So that kept me ignited basically. So that's how I, but that's something very minimal if you say. But yeah, I had this in mind. I have to do it anyhow this year, because otherwise it will be very long for me. 5 years of work ex, it will be, I will be very much into the industry, I would say. So this year I had to finalize it anyhow. So I kept on doing unless I reached that point.
I think somebody from ISB has to see this because then this is like the most passionate thing that you have done to be there. This is like incredible, superb. I mean, because this is one of the things that it generally varies. Some people are self-motivated, some parents help them, some, professors, some, or college mate help them. But you're self-motivated, you're opening. This is
Yes.
like fantastic. Something I can really ask anyone who's stuck at how to be motivated to
Yeah,
really.
yes. You should have your aim clear. You have to reach there. That's it. Nothing else matters. I didn't. To be honest, I never usually. It's been like 1 year. I have not stepped out of my uh, flat. Basically,
Oh
I
my
didn't go
God.
to any parties, even hoteling and all. I never did. So that's
Nothing outside work. You
yeah. But
you're
after the GMAT, I am off
going
work.
every day. पूरा मतलब वसूली करना, time
Yes.
वसूली.
Yes.
All
No,
right.
not really because I have to prepare for this essays as well.
Applications as
Yes.
well. Perfect, perfect. I'm sure. But like I said, I think this is going to happen very soon, the ISB admit. But okay,
Yes.
coming to the very last bit, which is your GMAT exam day, right? Anything that happened in the exam that you were completely thrown aback that, okay, this is something that I've never seen? Time is, of course, something that you mentioned that you ran out of time for some certain section. Um, just let us know, why did you choose verbal section over quant and DIY? What was that thought process as well
Yes.
in terms of,
Sure.
yeah,
So I was very comfortable with verbal, as I said.
right.
Even in my mocks, I gained that 1999, not 99. I never scored 99 once, I guess. But yeah, I was above 90 percentile or 85 percentile, if you say. So I was very confident with the math and also the maths. The maths, it's pretty easy, I guess, in GMAT. At least for me, some people struggle maybe. And then so that I used to think that this is something that I can never go wrong with. So let's done it with. I don't want to do it with my tired mind in general. So I can make maximum out of it in these two sections. So
Right.
that's why I used to choose verbal first, then quants, and then after that DI was a little weak for me. Although I got really less score in the actual GMAT, but so there was a 10 minutes gap, I guess. So after verbal and quant, I used to take 10 minutes gap. I relaxed my mind, and then I used to go for DI, so that I can improve scores as much as possible in DI as well.
Right. So what in DI, what happened? Was there anything, something that did not really or took a lot of time?
Yeah,
Um,
so the graphs that they gave were very difficult. There was some graph questions, that graphical interpretation. They were difficult. They were not difficult in the sense in solving, but they were difficult to interpret. Looking at the graphs, they were very new, very different kind of graphs that I got. And I would say in even in verbal also, I never saw the length of in mocks also. I never saw the length of the passages that I got was very high, around 300.
MSR question.
My guess was 300 words or 350 words, but it's pretty long and it was pretty dense as well.
Okay, okay.
A lot of inference questions
Was
there
it
were.
in the MSR section?
Uh, I don't really remember about the MSR section, but there was a MSR section, and it was not that difficult. I was able to manage
You're
it.
able to cruise
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So, your exam's done, you got the score. It was a momentary time, but how did you feel? You definitely said you were feeling relieved, right?
Yes.
So, did you already send your score to ISP?
Yes, exactly. I
Did you
I
send
did.
it to any
Yeah.
more, any other
I
students?
did to IMA as of now.
Right. Right.
But this is for now. I would say ki I would, if I get, once I get ISB admit, I would try for to get more score if possible, because till April I will be having time. So
Right. You want to improve your score if
yeah. If I can, since if I can reach to 75, then I would try to go beyond 700.
perfect, perfect. All right. So, there's a last parting note, obviously, I want to ask you because you've done, at least, even if it is slowly done, but you have done exactly what is asked of you, both in live and in your self preparation. That is your practice preparation. But if you look back and if you'd say that couple of points that one must do and one must not do, that is do's and don'ts for someone who is starting out, what would be your key advice?
My key advice would be, uh, be consistent. Don't leave gaps in between. Like some people, they leave for 1 month, 1 week, 4 days. Don't let that happen. Just be present. Even if you're able to do it half an hour, just do it. Do something. I if I don't have if I usually don't have the time, I used to give 30 minutes mock. I just used to start it, and then 30 minutes mock done. I will go whatever the work I have to do, and then next day I will analyze it. Just stick to it. Do something every day. Don't leave out of it. That's what I would say.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, this is something when we look at all the students who have not given the GMAT versus the one who's given the GMAT, consistency is the key word, I would say,
Yes.
between these two guys, right? And I
Yes.
think we can't stress any more further with the fact that even a day's gap can really
Yes.
reset the entire
So
trajectory,
I would give you one example of mine. Even whenever there is, if I have to do something, like I have to go out for some personal work or whatever the work, it is important. Even if for 1 day, it used to each me from the day I used to play, like 3 days before that. I have to leave. I have to go. I have to leave preparation. What, how I will do. This spark has to be there.
right? That, I mean, that itchiness, you have to be responsible. You have to feel the consequence of what can happen if
Yes,
you give
exactly.
1 day. So that's a great thought, because then at least you wrap up. Now you have a little room for a lot to breathe and think about so many
Yes,
things
yes,
that you have
true.
to do, right? Thank you so much for sharing this information, Syed. I really wish and wish you all the best. And I think with this score, you should be able to crack ISB. I've never seen anybody so passionate, so dedicated, and with someone actually waking up every day to see that I want to be in this school. Wow. And I can tell you that once you're there, you'll have an incredible time in terms of learning and sharing. And I
Yeah.
hope you do utilize even the exchange program that they have, so that you could go to another city or
Yes, true. I
country.
will try my best, but later I will. I'm still not there. I think the 30%. I For me, it's just the 30% journey, GMAT. But for me, it's cracking the exam is the main thing. After that, I can manage that because I have given interviews in the past. I used to clear the colleges, but the cracking the exam was difficult. But now, still 50% of the journey is left. I
Is
would say.
is definitely left.
Yes.
Thank you for trusting us in this part of your
Yes.
journey, this leg of your journey, I would say. Again, we wish you all the very best. Of course, if you
Thank you.
need help with the author, you can always connect with us to make sure that there is a shortcut into the ISB program. We can connect later on this. Now, I would, because you just mentioned earlier that one of your friend referred you to be here, essentially. This is what we are like. Our community is kind of built on referrals more than just out there.
Ask me how to prepare for GMAT, I just tell them go to top 1%. Really, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm not.
Absolutely. So glad we'll keep connected, because then it's always interesting to see the journey happen and you growing maybe 5-10 years down the line. It's brilliant here. Thank you so much again for trusting
Thank
us. You
you.
have a lovely evening today. Thank you
Thank
for
you, Natasha.
bye.
Bye bye.